Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Ill Talk Podcast. My name is Prince Mays, your ill host. Listen, let's just get straight to the point. Hiatuses, breaks, inconsistencies are all part of the losing game. I've been a loser. I've been a loser for 2 months. And it's wild because to me it hasn't been 2 months. For me, it's been like 2, maybe 3 weeks. I've recorded podcasts, and maybe I should just blast the spam and upload button. But honestly, ooh, that sounds richer. My voice went from prepubescent to very white. you know. What have I been doing? Honestly, a whole lot of nothing. That's not true. Hanging out with the family. Work. Mostly sleep. I've been exhausted for so long. So, I don't know. The exhaustion, I've never been this exhausted before in my life. It's like I'm just being drained of all energy. I don't think it's just me. I feel like the world is just being drained in all aspects of life. No matter what you do, it's just like you're just tired. However, greatness is not determined when things are good. Things are determined when your greatness is determined when things are bad. So doing it in spite of all of it is what separates the strong from the weak and the good from the great. How have y'all been? Good? I hope. Life is hard. Mediocrity is harder. Bar. I've been pretty mediocre lately, so I've decided to do a couple things. I'm going to be revamping the content side, but before I do that, I have to make sure I'm revamped. So a lot of what kept me from posting was honestly being uncertain on whether or not I was doing it for ego or just because I feel a calling to do it. I see a lot of what I don't want to become, a lot of things that I don't want to embody. There's things like I could be doing things for numbers, for for on the best, like I once did, and I really have to be careful not to lose who I become to statistics. Ultimately, it will be so easy for me to just put out clickbaity stuff, the typical vulgar stuff, and that life is vulgar, and I used to say that, but like some of the content that I see is like, those interview questions when they walk up to usually a lot of young people, and they just ask the most disrespectful questions, and the people are just like, oh yeah, da 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 da, and it's like, yo, what is wrong with y'all? Like, what's wrong with me? Because I do watch sometimes, but it's trash. It's not even good. It's like, let me ask the most obscene questions and just get a reaction. That's ultimately what it is, and that's nothing new. But it's just like, man, this is what content is becoming, and honestly, what I want to do with content is make content that I know in 50 years I can look back and be like, valid. That's valid. I might cringe, like, like, because anybody that is in, or at least any great that is later on in their career, when they look back at their older self, or they look like, they're like, oh, that's trash, That's just the critic in us, That's why a lot of, I've been like observing a lot of greatness and variety of different areas of life and skill. And it's like, man, to be that great, whether it's sports or arts or just even journalism or whatever, architect, whatever. It's like, yo, to be great takes action, consistency, effort, like all the hot pop-up phrases that you hear these days. But it's like, to actually embody that is different. I could talk about it all day, but to embody is so different, so difficult, it's so challenging, it's exhausting, but at the same time it's liberating, because it's like, if I don't do this, it's the want and desire to do this is not going away, no matter how much I ignore it, no matter how exhausted I am, no matter how much I have to do X, Y, Z. Like right now, my daughters are upstairs chilling. I've been trying to get them to go to sleep, taking that for 3 hours now. They're just not. The oldest one, when she inevitably does come down, because she hears me talking, because she nosy, she's going to want to be in the camera, and she's going to want to talk in the mic, and she's going to want to put these headphones on. Now, mind you, I've never actually recorded anything like this in front of her, but it's natural. It's just things like that are just in her DNA. And it's like nothing that, or maybe it's always been a calling and I never knew. But it's like she just naturally does it. Like, she's going to be a pro. And I just have to set the stage, I don't know if I'm going to be Michael Jordan and she's going to be the kids, where it's like, or I'm or she's going to be, or if I'm going to be like Wardell. Is that Dell? No, Dell. If I'm going to be Dell Curry, she's going to be Steph. I don't know. But I will never know unless I try. But yeah, it's just like, ultimately being as great as you want to be will never not come at a cost. It'll never just be easy. It'll never be done for you. It will always require sacrifice. It'll always require work. And it's nothing new, but it's like, this is the easiest thing in the world, and it's the hardest thing in the world at the same time. In the words of Jim Rohn, those things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. So I have assembled a team of legendary experts to help me get over the hump, because I'd rather look back in 4 years from now and be like, yes, I did it, as opposed to how I've been the past 4 years since I've created Ill Talk, where I was most prolific at the first year. And it was a freeing time, and it's like, I love that I did that, but it's like, I hate that I did that at the same time, because I'm just, responsibilities I had none. Pay a couple bills, not even a lot of bills, just like, whatever. But to really sit back and appreciate, all that I have done in the time in between all this stuff, and learning to value certain things that are different that I didn't value. That doesn't come with just, posting every day or learning or reading. That comes with, long talks with God. That comes with hard lessons, because, I don't call myself hard-headed. I just think I'm determined. Sometimes you be determined in the wrong direction. But yeah, I do think, I know top two, and I'm not two when it comes to this content game. Honestly, besides Christ, none of y'all hold my candle. That's that vanity coming through. And it's, it's just, and it's funny because it's like, at the end of the day, I'm really ultimately just competing with myself. I can't do what other people can do. I'm not them, I'm me. I appreciate them. There's a lot of dope things, this is filled with a lot of dope individuals doing a lot of dope things, and I have to eat off of it, because honestly, this is such a draining time. I have to make sure I'm eating high quality nutrition when it comes to that. But I've assembled an impeccable team, and I'm only gonna display one of the books until I finish the book, and that is Dr. Dennis P. Kimbro, PhD. In his book, What Makes a Great Great. Bow. Let me see if I can get a thumbnail. Like, ooh, that's fire. That's fire. My lighting's not great, but it's okay. I remember I used to not want to be great at editing. I used to want it to be raw, uncut, authentic. And then I was just like, and then I've been thinking like, maybe I should make it a little more crisp. But then I'm like, that'll have to wait till I pay somebody. And then I'm like, why not just do it myself? And then I'm like, yeah, just relax, one day at a time. That's the kind of thinking that gets you into just thinking and not doing, fantasizing and not being, you know, that kind of stuff. I want my reality to be as dope as my fantasy, if not more, you know. But What Makes a Great Great by Dr. Dennis P. Kimbro, author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. Also, The Wealth Choice. He's written quite a few other incredible books. And essentially this book, he wanted to find out what makes great people great. And the first time I heard of this, it was E.T. was doing, you know, his videos. E.T. phenomenal, you know. E.T. was shout out to E.T. E.T. was doing one of his videos, and he mentioned a book, What Makes a Great Great. He said, right, I was like, oh, what is this? And I was like, oh, I've heard of Dr. Kimbro. I'm like, oh, you know, add that to my infinite amount of, not infinite, but dozens, hundreds of like lists of books and things I want to read. And I was like, you know, eventually. But honestly, for me, I need a mindset shift. There was a point in time I did anything, and I mean anything that I sought out to do, it was done. Now there are, you know, lapses, you know, memory and judgment, and not everything I said I was going to do, I did do. Because one of the things that I have is one of the gifts is vision. I can see things, and it's like I get such grandiose visions and want to do all these things. Like I'm just one person, and instead of taking the time to build a foundation, and then once this is established, okay, I'm gonna do this. Once this is, I'm like, oh, let me try and do everything, and then nothing gets done. That's a terrible habit that I have. I'm sure other people can identify with that. But in order to combat this, you know, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And if you're sporadic like I am, if you are a visionary like I am, yet you have no ground to get this stuff done. And if you're lazy at times, and if you're quite in love with the idea of isolation like I am, it can be an issue. However, at the end of the day, in 50 years, that would all sound like an excuse to me. It's like, oh, you don't want this. When you want it as bad as you want to breathe, then you will succeed. And that's not me imitating E.T. That is me literally quoting him. And it's like, that's what I'm feeling. When you want it as bad as you want to breathe, not as bad as you want snacks, not as bad as you want tea, not as bad as you want water, but as bad as you want to breathe, and then you will succeed. And for me, it's so wild because like I want this, but it's like, do you really want it? And it's like, it falls into what I call 3 W's. I have a whim, a wish, and a will. When you will stuff done, come hell or hot water, it's getting done. When you wish it done, it's a repetitive, recurring, like, oh yeah, that'll be great. Oh yeah, I don't want to do this job anymore. Like, oh yeah, all this stuff. And then it's like, a woman's like, oh, maybe I should do this. And I was like, nah, that was just random thought. You know, that kind of stuff. Lately, it's been feeling like a whim. Before that, since it's been recurring, it's been a wish. I need to will it through. Ill Talk, the roots were definitely very much so in pop culture and music. It's kind of shifted into this mindset kind of thing, and my mindset hasn't been as tight as I needed to be. It's probably as tight as a 12-year-old's, you know. If that, you know, there's some top-notch 12-year-olds running around. But there is a message in this mess. I have really taken the time to truly appreciate the entirety of the journey. And reading this book, you know, sometimes I get books and then I'm like so hyped to read it and I never pick it up. And then I get books I'm gonna read it and then it's like, what is this? And sometimes I do it to myself because I pick terrible times to read. I'm like, I'm gonna read now, you know, I know I'm about to pass out. And listen, fun tip, if you ever are tired but you can't quite make yourself on, just read. Just read. I have fallen asleep many a times reading. Doesn't matter if it's a Kindle, regular book, phone, read. And it can be as sacred as the Bible or as whimsical as the funny. Well, not the funniest, but, you know, just read. Especially when you're not trained to read, you will, sorry if I'm peeking, I wasn't really paying attention, I'm really looking at myself. If you're not accustomed to reading or you're out of shape, it'll definitely be more challenging to you. But it's kind of like anything. But honestly, my mindset needs tuned up, and I recruited Dr. Kimbrough first. There will be more once I have 5 books I am going to read. I am willing it, and I am going to do it no matter what, because this will change the trajectory of my life, my family's life. You know, there's content for you, so on and so forth. And honestly, I can't do it just with my mind. I have to transform all of me. But for a physical is important too. I'm the heaviest. I feel like if my weight, you know, like you just level out. My weight has been steady the last few years. And it's funny because before I got pregnant with my first daughter, I had actually lost weight. I lost quite a bit of weight, and I was like looking decent. And then my girlfriend's pregnant with my daughter. I was like, I got cravings like crazy. I've never, like, listen, I've been fat a long time, but I've never, like, you kind of like consistent fat, like, you know, if you know, you know. But like, I was consistent, but like, it was like, whoa, the cravings were out of this world. It was like, man, I'm hungry. Like, and it was wild. And I've kind of like leveled out at like this 268, 270 since my daughter's been here. I think the lowest I got since my daughter was like 2020, before we got evicted by the bat. I was working out consistently every day, eating right, prepping my meals, doing it. And then I think I got to like 240, so I lost like 28, 30 pounds. And then had to, this bat broke into the house in the middle of the night, and I do not do animals like that. I am not, at this point in time, Lord willing, it don't change, I don't like those pests, those vermin. Listen, it's not for me. I'm not one of those adventurous kind of types. My kind of adventure is like bringing my family out of poverty and changing the mindset and lifestyles of those who follow me, you know, getting eternal salvation through Christ. That's the kind of journey I would like. I'm not no critter seeking, no. I'm just not, that's not me. I tried to get it out. I really thoroughly tried to get it out for an entire day, and it didn't work. So yeah, we got evicted by the bat a time ago. And then, you know, we weren't set up to, you know, shift out that quick. But you know, everything happens for a reason. I'm actually glad we did. The house we were at was terrible. Garbage, trash, garbage. Listen, stay away. Landlords are trash too, but it's okay. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good. But anyway. And it's funny because like that's kind of like one of those mishap things. It's like if I would have just been even a little bit more consistent since then, I probably would be at like sub 200 right now, as opposed to 270. And I have any weight, but I know my weight's been fluctuating. It's been like steady. And it's funny because before that, maybe 230 would be like where I was leveling out at, like 225, 230. But it's like I lost a bunch of weight, then whoo, and then it's like stocks dropping and then whoo, skyrocket. But I'm going on a tangent. Anyway, but for me to do this, and at the level I want to do it at, I have to take it one day at a time, making sure I'm taking care of myself and doing that. Shout out to Jamal King he's part of ETA's group, ET's, ETA's family. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, ETA and Associates. He has this phenomenal thing called 5 Pillars, which is, he changed it. I think it's faith, family, finance, fitness, and freedom. I think those are his 5 pillars. Those are where we go at. I've been calling myself, I've been focused on my faith, my family, my finance, and fitness. And that's been for a while now, but it's great mind think alike. He is a mentor. He is an unc. He is one of those to me. I just really find myself respecting the people that have the balance individually, family, business, and making an impact in this kind of world. Podcasters. Those are the people that really I'm pulling from, particularly the ones that are Christian. True. Well, who's to say what's true Christian? I don't want to get in that. But those are the people that I'm drawing near to. You need great mentors. If everybody needs great coaches, Goku's has several. Michael Jordan has several. LeBron hasn't had many, but he's there. I don't want to go. It's harder to do it by yourself, especially when it's in a way that you've never seen done before. And I know it'll get done. I just have to put myself in the proper position, the proper mindset, the proper physicality. I don't want to be exhausted doing it. And it can be exhausting to do it, but I want to remove as many obstacles as I can from my goals. And that includes myself, my mindset, my emotions, my body. Like, all these things have to be trained at a higher level. Everything I've looked up to points to that. I get so inspired by stuff I don't actually act. And it's like, sometimes you need to be inspired, but every time you need to act in a positive, forward-going way. And sometimes it may not move, the needle may not move, but it's building compound interest. Like for me, I just hit over 100 shares in AT&T. Hey, round of applause. Listen, to me, that's huge. I've never hit so many shares in one thing. I've never had so much invested at one time. And it's honestly, the most I would get is like anywhere between like $400 to $1,200, and I'm like, something come up on it. And then properly prepare, and it's like, gotta liquidate, and it's like, no, that does nothing. And it's kind of like how I am with a lot of things. It's like I'll get even so invested in it, and I'm like, it's whatever. And it's okay to withdraw at times, but it's not at this point in time. I need to get better at finding the time to withdraw certain things. This is 1010. I am so out of practice. It's okay. To be honest, this platform is one that I'm creating to last as long as Lord wills the planet to be here, However, it will never get there if I don't take this step. Maybe I will flood up all the episodes I've posted. But this is definitely going to be diving more into the journey of it. I wish I could be like, no, actually I don't. I like the underdog story that I'm writing. No, that Christ is writing. I'm just living it out. I like it. I have so many obstacles in my way. Some are self, some are not. But I don't believe anyone could do this but me, for me. I don't believe I could have done this 13 years ago. I don't think I can do this 13 years from now. Now is the time to do it. We only have today. And I've hit on that before, and one that I have not released. I think that was the most recent one I recorded. But for me, I have to give it my best and see where it lands me. I can't wake up one day and be like, dang, I should have, could have, would have. I want to wake up one day and like, I did. Resume. Like, I want to go up to a hater or just have a hater come and I'm like, resume, all facts, resume. Not in my head. I envision. I can see. I would do. I could have done. No, resume. And I want astonishments, not accomplishments. Ooh, look. Don't get me in my bag. My bag is heavy right now. I got years of built up catchphrases, quotes, sayings, ideas, system, all of these that I could just pow. But I'm gonna contain it and focus it and channel it. Cause I wanna be added to whenever he does another. Well, I mean, I don't know if he would, because honestly, if I wrote a book as great as this, I'm not rewriting it. I mean, unless it's to update it. Maybe I'll have a talk with him and he'll be like, yo, listen, what made you great? Listen. But I do want to say, what is it? There is a quote I read, like, this is one of the books that I'm like really itching to read. I need to make sure I finish it though. But listen, I want you to hear me loud and clear. There is a quote in this book. I forget from who. He was interviewing. It was a woman. It was in a prelogue, and he asked all of the people like, what makes a great, and she said, I would say it's lifestyle. Life is God's gift to you. Style is what you make of it. Life is what God gives to you, His gift to you, and style is what you make of it. That one stuck. There was a lot of them that I liked, but that one, I was like, yo, that's bars. Let me see if I find them. Because I know it's on the right page and about halfway now. So. Oh, this book also talks about hope, which is phenomenal. Oh, yeah. Mae Jemison, America's first black astronaut. Hey. She said, greatness can be captured in one word, lifestyle. Life is God's gift to you. Style is what you make of it. Woo! Bars. All right, that's all I have for you today. Get a quick snack in, drink some water. Make sure you do something great. This is an action-based program, which is life. Go do something great that doesn't harm anyone, that brings someone up. Be kind to someone. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself a high five, because you deserve it. These are just little, references. See if you catch them all. Things I've either read, consumed, whatever. But make sure you are feeding your fire with heavy, dense nutrition. Okay? Because that's the only way to keep it burning strong. Okay? I don't know why I'm saying okay. What was that South Park? That one character that kept saying okay. I don't know. Random thoughts. I've never really watched that show. Not for me. I'm more of a Bob's Burgers kind of guy, if I'm going down that route. But anyway, my name is Prince Mays. This is the Eel Talk Podcast. Make sure you're sharing, you're subscribing, you're rating this on the podcast you're listening to. 5 stars, nothing less. Hey, just make sure you're getting the word out there, because I don't want to just impact your day. I want to impact everyone's day. Thank you. I love you. Be great. I'm going to sign off on YouTube first, so I'm out. 1.